What up, Wastelanders? Thanks for joining me again for another Gaslands NorCal conversion video. Today I am going to be doing food truck. I've used this base, at least this type of base, in the past several times. Done a lot of sweet tooth builds, some dark tooth stuff, maybe even one or two actual food trucks. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to use this actual build, this actual base, because it's plastic, the body. I don't really like that for the metal ones, so I'm going to use this one. I've already kind of prepped for it to get it going. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm still going to be doing kind of like fly by the seat of your pants type thing, but I'm going to take it even one step further. I'm going to be using, for this build, only bits and pieces I have from my little bits bucket that I toss things that I haven't used aside into it. I'm sure everybody has something like this. If you're doing a build and you have some extra pieces or something you didn't use, just toss it in a little bin, a box, whatever. So these are bits and pieces of builds of years gone by. So I'm only going to be using stuff out of this little bin to be doing my food truck. Still going to be going with the Monument Hobbies Pro Acrylic. We're going to do a dark ivory today, but I'm going to be using this contrast Eldari Emerald, just to give it a little more flair, a little more color, and then we'll be getting everything put together. So let's get that painted up. Alright, so we got the initial coat going on there. Not looking too bad. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be Wastelands. Don't really care for the bright orange colors of these windows, so I am going to paint the inside of them black using the speed paint, Grim Black. Darken up the windows, give it a little more shade. I like using that method. I find it works out really well in the past. Alright, now that we have that done, we'll see how it turns out. This orange is pretty striking, so may or may not work out exactly as I planned, but we'll see. Let's get a second coat going on to the body. Alrighty, here we go. Stuff out of the way. So we're going to wait for that to dry before we start applying our contrast. While we're waiting for it to dry, let's take a look at what we got going on in the bin. Like I said, lots of stuff going on here. Obviously going to need some wheels, so hoping that we have some of those. There's one. Some smaller wheels that will definitely be too small. These I think are going to be too big. What else we got in here? Here's one of those. I like that weapon. This might look nice. Big old one on there. Oh, there's the tire. Perfect. And then, of course, we've got some armor pieces. Front grill, window covering might work good. Let's get those armor pieces out. This covering. And we'll dip back in there if we need to. Put that aside for now. So we got kind of an idea of where it might be going to. Let's get the contrast going on and see what it looks like next. Alright, so there's the contrast. I knew going in the paint was not dry. I was kind of counting on that to give it a little more of the kind of a tropical vibe. So not exactly what I was hoping for, but you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be Gaslands. So we're going to let that dry all the way now. And let's take a look at what else we have going on. So the little guy that sits in here, took him out, I don't really like that. It's not really detailed or anything. So probably get either the windows armored up, or maybe, do we have anybody in here? We got a big stand-up gunner. Don't want to use that guy. Let's see. I don't do drivers and stuff a lot. I do them occasionally. Alright, that looks like all we got. You have some chain. I'm just finding more and more stuff that, you know, set aside and don't think I'm going to use, but find a use for it at some point. Well, we got somebody. I don't think I will use this guy, but maybe have this guy hanging out the window or serving up some lead tacos. Lead tacos. Well, let's get these. I know I want to use these. Luckily, these tires are already painted, so let's get this stuff painted up. Alright, we're going to let all the stuff dry, and then we will continue on to our next step. Alright, so got everything washed up. We're going to get some little more bits here. Got some tires going on, got them all painted up. Not too sure about these windows. They're still very orange for me. Probably just cover them up. So I'm going to try the pencils again. I'm not sure if I did it right the last time, so we will see what happens. So we're going to get these washed up and try the pencil method again. So here we go. Alright, so still not 100% on the pencils. I'm probably not doing it right. There's others out there that do it better. Probably use my own method, but we'll see what happens once we get everything on here. Alright, so got everything all painted up and got some little extra doodads and stuff pulled out of the bit box and painted up. I'm going to get all these on here. Got a little guy all painted up, matching kind of the same color as the truck, so we'll get him in there. So let's start getting everything on here, and then we will weather it up a little more. Really don't like how the pencil part turned out, so let's just get everything on here, and then we'll take the next steps. Alright, so now we got everybody in there, got our bits and bobs on to begin with, some front window covering or weapon in here, got this window all armored up. Before we get any more armor on, let's do a little bit of chipping on here. We're going to use the old tried and true, the MIG chipping. Alright, so everything's kind of weathered, got Agrax on there. So let that dry up a bit, and then we'll continue on some more weathering, add some more bits and bobs. Got some fuel tanks and stuff we're going to stick on the back there and chain it down, and then we will add some more rust. Pull these out, not sure if I'll use them or not. Gotta have some exhaust. Stick that on there somewhere maybe, and then we will move on. Okay. Got all the final bits and pieces on here. Got my gas tank on there and the chain on there, securing it. Got some exhaust going on right here. I'm going to get the final bit of weathering done, get some rust on there before we do our final touches and call it good. I think this has like some chipping thing, so I might add some blood in there. First, let's get it all rusted up. Okay, rust is on. We will let that dry, and then we will do our finishing touches. Add maybe a little bit of blood on there. Add some more grit and grime using another method I'm going to show you. And then I think we will be ready for the Wastelands. Alright, so the rust is all dried up. It's looking pretty good. Still needs a little bit more weathering in my humble opinion. So I'm going to use a method I've been playing around with. Just involves using some pigment. This is kind of a mixture of all the pigments I've been using, the rust, the black, browns, and then of course just some isopropyl alcohol. Now take some the alcohol, and the pigments really react well with the alcohol. They harden up and everything else. So we're going to add the alcohol onto the build and then dust the pigment on there, and I'll show you how it looks. All right, now as you can see, it's already kind of started to react, and it makes kind of the really splattery, dirty effect on there. Now some of this dust, this pigment is going to dust off of there. It'll just won't stick with the alcohol, but most of it will. And it makes a really kind of grungy, dirty effect that I really, really like. Let's get some more on here. Before we add the blood. Like I said, yeah, really, really like it. Works out really well. But yeah, so we're going to let this dry, and I'll dust it off. Then we'll add some final details on there, and we will get her on the Wastelands. All right, and there we have it. One Wasteland food truck. Some sick puppy went ahead and wrote taco in blood on there. I don't know who did that. But yeah, you see all the pigment stayed on there, dusted off a little bit, but still, it's like got that dirty effect that I really, really like. So, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more and get notified when content comes out, please hit that subscribe. Please put comments, questions, anything else in the comments section, and I will answer them as quickly as possible. And until next time, Gaslands NorCal, signing out.